Another day, another phone. What's happening, guys? It's Bharat Nagpal, and today we're checking out the new Lenovo K6 Power. So let's get started. The Lenovo K6 Power was launched in India for a price of 9999, effectively under 10,000 rupees by just a single rupee. And if you buy it with the launch offers, you get the Moto Pulse headphones, which are otherwise for $899. They're claiming that they're $1499 and they're giving them for $499. So you do save about 300 to 400 rupees, but not that much. And we recommended the Moto Pulse headphones, the Moto Pulse 2 headphones, as one of the best headphones in the under 800 rupees price bracket. So now you can get them at 500 rupees. So you save about 300. Flipkart is also giving out some other offers with the phone. So you can obviously exchange your old phones to get a discount of up to 8,000 rupees. But the phone that you'll probably exchange for 8,000 rupees costs a lot more. So if you have any old phones lying around that you don't really need, see if they're offering up a discount and you can get a good discount on the phone in case you're interested in buying it. Let's get into the review now. The Lenovo K6 Power has been launched with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 430 chipset, which does have a 1.4 gigahertz CPU. You also get the Adreno 505 GPU. So in terms of the chipset, it's not the latest. It's not going to give you the best power. But once we start to talk about what the phone is overall in terms of performance and reliability, I feel that it turns out to be a great device. You do get 3GB of RAM and 32GB of storage. Lenovo did launch the phone overseas with a 2GB and 16GB variant. They haven't launched that in India. So in India, you get the higher RAM as well as the higher storage capacity variant. The display on the device is a 5-inch 1920 by 1080p display. It's an IPS LCD display, so you get great viewing angles and an overall good outlook from the display. It's not the closest display to the glass, so you do see some gap between the display as well as the touch screen on the top. So if you look at the phone from a side, you do get that shadowing effect. So as far as SIM cards are concerned, the phone has 2 SIM card slots, but the tray is a hybrid tray. So if you're using 2 SIM cards, you will not be able to use a micro SD card. If you want to use a micro SD card, you will not be able to use 2 SIM cards. Both the SIM cards will support 4G networks, and the phone inherently does support VoLTE or voice over LTE. So in case you're a Jio user, you'll get that support out of the box and you won't need to worry about an update. For the cameras, on the back is a 13 megapixel camera, and over at the front is a 8 megapixel camera. For battery, one of the most important things is the fact that it's a 4000 milliamp hour battery. There is quick charging enabled and you get a 2 amp charger. However, we found that the battery charging times were quite a lot to get the full charge from the phone, but the battery does last you a really long time, so you won't have to worry about charging the phone again and again. Lenovo has opened up their UI quite a lot, and it seems a lot more stockish, much more like Motorola. You do get the Vibe launcher on the phone, but my recommendation to you is that the Vibe launcher is quite slow, so stick to the Android launcher, which is also preloaded onto the device. If you can't find the Android launcher, you can download it from the Google Play Store, or Lenovo has their own theme management store. You can download it from there as well. I would recommend sticking to the Android one because it offers a lot more fluidness when you switch between panels and when you switch between windows of running application, you see that increase in performance. What the good thing about this phone is that you get all your recommended and required sensors. So you do have a gyroscope, you do have a compass, accelerometer. All of those things are on the device, which is a great thing. For 10,000 rupees, you're not missing out on any of the important sensors. You also have an LED light, and the proximity sensor works in a really interesting way when the phone is locked. If the phone is in your pocket, it does have accidental dial prevention. So what it does is uses the proximity sensor and blocks out the screen. If you turn on the screen in the lock screen and put your finger in front, you get this preventing screen from unnecessary touches window, which basically tells you that if it's in your pocket, then it's preventing accidental touches, and you should remove your finger from the proximity sensor in case you do want to touch the screen. Now, in terms of performance, the phone is pretty all right. On Antutu, you get a performance score of 44,000 or 45,000, around that range. It's pretty good for the price value that this phone is available at, but it's not the best in this price bracket as well. If you go a little higher, you get some phones from Moto, which is the Lenovo company, which offer up better benchmark scores if you want to compare benchmarks as a standard. And then you also have some phones from Xiaomi as well as some other brands available in the market for this price bracket that will give you higher benchmark scores. If you're using this phone for day-to-day tasks, we've had this phone for a couple of days, and it seems to be doing a good job of handling your day-to-day application moves as well. So in terms of performance, we're getting a better performance than we actually expected from the phone, and at the price point, we feel that it's a good fit. Now, in terms of build quality and design, the phone looks quite a lot like many other phones that are available in the market. In fact, this whole unibody shell thing happening has become a really common design aspect, and for phones from companies like Xiaomi as well as some other brands have this identical look on the back. We think it's sort of boring. It's not the best design for a phone, but for under 10,000 rupees, what they're focusing on is less design but more build quality, and the build quality is pretty supreme. You get a solid shell of aluminum at the back. That means that the back is very well secured. There is no information if there is a glass protector on the front, so I would recommend that you use a screen protector if you do end up buying this device, because there is no real information on the protection for the front. Now, we extensively gamed on this device, and again the experience was a lot more than I actually expected from a Snapdragon 430 chipset along with the Adreno 505. With Asphalt running on full graphics, the phone managed to perform really well, and you'll see on screen right now what the gaming experience of this phone is like. We're quite impressed with the overall capacity of this phone to handle games. Responses are on point, game feedback as well as graphics are really high. Like I said, like performance in gaming is matching out to be really good under a 10,000 rupee price bracket, and the 4,000 mAh battery puts all of that together in a really good package for the phone. Now, cameras are something that people use a lot today. The 13 megapixel camera captures focus really quickly. You do have PDAF, which is face detection autofocus. It works really well in well-lit conditions because of the way the focus capability is designed. So if you have a good well-lit environment, if you're shooting outdoors, you'll get really good contrast detection as well and face detection as well. So what it does is it'll figure out what your focus point is and instantly give you focus. Wherever you tap on the screen as well, you'll get focus on that. If you're shooting in low light conditions, there is going to be a bit of focus hunting, and the LED flash does turn on to help you get some focus, or you can do it manually because they do have a pro mode inbuilt as well. If you do manage to find focus, images are decent in low light conditions, they're not good. In well lit conditions, you get really good photographs. Again, I'm comparing it with phones in the same price bracket. Photograph quality is pretty impressive. It gives you all your basic needs for selfies. It is slightly wider than usual, so you do get a wide front camera. So if you're taking pictures with a bunch of people, you'll be able to get them in frame as well. So overall, in terms of the optics department, they're not the best cameras, but you'll be pretty impressed with what they're offering in this package. Now, the video capability is restricted to a 1080p video. A lot of people are really happy with that. So the 1080p video is pretty smooth. You do not have any form of stabilization. So if you have shaky hands like me, you'll end up with a really shaky video. You do get some slow motion footage that you can capture on this device, which is pretty impressive, and you can have a lot of fun with that. Again, you'll need a really well lit environment to get some slow motion footage. You also have a bunch of shooting modes on the camera, including an artistic HDR, like I said, the slow motion, fast motion options, a panorama option, and a pro mode. So you can customize your shooting capabilities and play around with the camera. It is a Snapit camera. It's a third-party application that has been installed. So you can replace it with the Google camera if you want. You can download it from the Play Store. You can replace it with any other camera application that you've used it in the past. Overall, the hardware is pretty good. If you can leverage out some of the camera features, then you'll be able to get really good pictures as well as decent, not the best video. So the phone does have 2 SIM card slots, and network performance is good as you would expect from the Qualcomm chipset. So overall, if you're using both the SIM cards, you do get dual standby and dual capabilities. But another good thing about this phone is the fact that they have dual profile features. So if you have one instance of WhatsApp already installed, you can install another instance of WhatsApp so that you don't need to constantly change numbers. So if you have 2 SIM cards on your phone, you can have 2 WhatsApp applications in your phone. You can also do this with many other applications, including Facebook, Skype, Instagram. Although now Instagram supports multiple profiles, but you can have dedicated Instagram accounts for different profiles if you want. This feature is supported by the phone. It is available on a bunch of other devices as well, but the way Lenovo is doing it is pretty impressive. All you need to do is just simply tap a toggle and you get another application installed on your screen. If you don't want it anymore, just tap a toggle and it removes the secondary application and leaves the first application on the screen. So if you're using 2 numbers on your phone, now you can have 2 separate WhatsApp accounts. For you guys who are players, might come in handy, right? Wrong. So phone call audio is pretty impressive as well. The earpiece is pretty loud, and the person on the other side will get noise cancelled microphone audio. You do have a noise cancellation microphone, but the noise cancellation microphone sits on the back. It is an ideal location. So if you're holding the phone on one side, all the audio from the other side will be blocked. But if you have noise coming from this side, which is the other side of the phone or the frontal side of the phone, that tends to get passed through to the receiver of your phone call. The speakerphone on the phone is pretty wide and loud speaker. So if you like using the speakerphone, all you need to do is put the phone face down on the table and the speakerphone is really loud. But the problem with this is if you put the phone face up on the table or on the ground anywhere, the speaker is at the bottom and it tends to get muffled out because of the way the speaker is placed. Also, if you're playing games, you'll end up muffling up the speaker with your secondary fingers that hold the phone. It tends to get in the way. The placement of the speaker may not be the best, but the overall output from the speakerphone is pretty good. You also get Dolby Atmos on the phone, so if you're using good quality headphones, you'll be able to enjoy Dolby Atmos in your ears as well. So overall, in terms of audio, they've managed to do a lot of tweaking with the audio profiles, and because Dolby has managed to certify this, you should get a really good audio experience if you have the right set of things with you. Now, because it's a 4000 milliamp hour battery, you get really good battery life. You will go through the whole day with extensive usage without any problems. The first time I used this phone, it stayed charged up for almost 2 days without any problems. That is really impressive for a phone under 10,000 rupees. So overall, you get a really good, well-managed battery life. We did not find the phone heating up at all, and we tested it on several occasions, including gaming, etc. So our device was not heating up whatsoever, and we were pretty impressed with that. Overall, for 9,999, the phone is a pretty impressive overall package, and it gives you a lot of things that you get from many other companies as well. So there's nothing really unique happening. But the fact that they've packaged all of this together and they're not missing out on things that you would usually miss out on. So either they remove a compass, or they remove the proximity sensor, or they remove some sort of sensor. Everything has been packaged into this phone. They're not missing out on anything. You also get Dolby Atmos, you get really good speakers, you get a great build quality, you get good networks, you get expandability using a micro SD card, you get dual profiles. Overall, the phone is an excellent package, and if you're interested in buying this, it's going on sale on the 6th at noon, and we'll leave a link in the description in case you want to buy it. So the Lenovo K6 Power, even though Lenovo launched 3 of these overseas, the K6 Power, the K6 Note, as well as the Lenovo Vibe K6, they've only launched the K6 Power in India because I feel that it's an overall well-rounded package and it'll do well for the company. And instead of mixing things around and confusing the customer, a singular phone seems to be a better option according to me. They've also not launched the 16 and 2GB variant, which they might, and it might be a cheaper phone, or they may not at all. So the 3GB, 32GB phone is available in 3 colors, silver, dark gray, as well as gold. You can have your pick, and if you're looking for a new phone under 10,000 rupees, the K6 Power is definitely a strong contender. This has been my review. If you have any questions or queries, you can leave them in the comment section below. You can check us out on iGyan.in. Catch us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Don't forget to hit that like button if you liked our review, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to iGyan for all the latest tech in your inbox. This has been Bharat. I'll see you guys in the next one.